Today, we're going to discuss about Stashaway. Stashaway is one of the leading Robo-adviser platforms, and Stashaway is actually having a referral program. Towards the end of the video, I'll leave links below just in case you are interested to sign up, and when you do so, you can get 6 months worth of free management. Now, Stashaway is actually an online platform, a Robo-adviser platform, whereby there's actually step-by-step requirements, and in this video, I'm going to deep dive everything for you, and if this topic interests you, continue watching on. Now, when you choose to invest in your portfolio, the key idea is to get diversified, because diversification protects your downside tremendously. Especially if you're a new investor, diversification is a very recommended idea. I've mentioned this over again in this channel, and if you haven't subscribed, smash our subscribe button because we'll be launching videos every week. And I want to help you get more financially savvy and join our community, become one of our members, and know new ideas constantly on the investment world. Now, the Robo-adviser actually is really help you optimize your portfolio. Not only diversification is to help you reallocate, rebalance. These are strategies that I practice on a personal basis myself. A Robo-adviser does that for you, and Stashaway uses this ERA methodology, economic regime asset allocation. If you can read a bit deeper, it's quite complex, but they have a very well thought through methodology on how to get into assets that they believe will outperform in the near term. They believe they can source these ideas. They believe they can get invested in the right ETFs to get the right exposure at the right time. So that is the methodology when you get invested with Stashaway. The next part over here is how to get started, and let's start this deep dive on it. If you look at this screenshot, you will see that there's two options. The lower one is SRS account. You can actually get invested with SRS accounts, but if you're a new investor, I guess you'll be looking for the cash account, which is the first portion over there. And when you go into that, you'll see a few portfolios that you can create. Let's start with the last one at the bottom over there. Stashaway is simple. What is this? If you look at it, it's actually a very low risk parking account. So in this account, it actually helps you get invested, into money market funds. If you can see over here, Lion Global SGD, Enhanced Liquidity Fund, and Lion Global SGD Money Market Fund. These two funds are low risk. It's not risk free, but they invest into money market, which means short duration. There's 90 days or less loans to corporations. The average return projected is about 1.9%. It's meant for you to park your money there. So when you get invested in that, there's not a lot of upside. It's meant to be a parking facility. So let's examine the other portfolios. I'll also next move on to the income portfolio. This is pretty interesting. And if you look over here in this chart, you'll see that this is a dividend idea. This portfolio, if you're looking for dividends, really fits you. And what do they get invested into? The first thing, the most allocation is to corporate bonds. The second allocation is to real estate, which is probably REITs. And the third allocation is government bonds and international equity. So with one portfolio, you get diversified into so many ETFs that get into these sectors for you. Projected return, 3.75%. Now, there's a minimum starting balance for this. This is $10,000. If you have smaller amounts, then maybe this is not an option to look at. Then let's move on to the other two options. As you can see over here, there's general investing and goal-based investing. I look into them in detail, and my preference is to go with the general investing one. So that's why I'll deep dive into that for you. And let's look over here. When you go into general investing, the main thing is for you to choose your risk appetite. So now what does that mean? So when you are an aggressive investor, that means the portfolio will have more ETF allocation to equities. If you're a conservative investor, the portfolio will have more ETF allocation to bonds. So again, they mentioned over there 3 to 5 years, but I've mentioned before in this community many times, when you get invested 10 years or more, that's your time frame when it comes to investing. Don't look so short a period, because there can be volatility and it's not certain that you can see positive returns in such a short period of time. So the next part that I'll move on to is when you select one, what is the next step? You can actually log in and complete the journey using My Info. You populate all your income, your CPF, your personal information, and that saves you a lot of time. I completed this whole process, I think, within 10 minutes or so. So next part is you, of course, put in your 2FA, you put in your full name and you link to your mobile phone. And then you have your risk appetite assessment. And in this portion over here, you need to select which one you're going with. You need to input your financial knowledge assessment. Whether you've invested before in ETFs, whether you have a business degree or finance degree. But in that case, if you are new to investing, my suggestion is don't go to an aggressive portfolio. You are not too familiar with share market volatility. Go with something more conservative. That's my personal sharing, because you need time to discover how much tolerance you have in terms of risk. So your question might be, what if you choose a balanced portfolio and you want to change it in future? Can you do so? In this small clip over here, I have something to show you. If we run this, you see that you can start off with a portfolio that's balanced. You can choose more or less risk as reflected at the top over there. And if you scroll down, you can actually see where these ETFs are allocated. If you can choose small cap, you click on it, what you see is, oh, iShares small cap ETF. So this allocation is 15% to small cap ETF. And this predominantly is in US stocks. So it's US small cap. Everything is detailed over there. They help you choose which one is the best. But first place, you must like generally their methodology of doing so. So as we move back, now you understand you can actually change your risk appetite. But the main suggestion I have for you is when you choose one, stick to it. Don't micromanage it. Don't, because market come down, you choose from balanced to conservative. That's the wrong way of doing things, because you are going to sell out whatever equity portion you have. You're going to get into bonds. You're going to lock in paper losses, which is not a good idea, especially for a new investor. If you choose one, for example, if you choose balance, stick with it. Let the rebalancing, let the reallocation work its magic for you, and look, 10 years or at least 5 years. That's my personal suggestion. So next question that you might have is, what can you choose in terms of ETFs? The quick answer, as we can see in this snapshot over here, is no. You're not able to choose your own ETF. Let the platform, let the Robo-adviser do that for you, because if you're micromanaging it, then again, where's your due diligence on it? The whole benefit of a portfolio is designed for you already. Now let's move on to the next part. Can you actually do regular investing? The quick answer is yes. Look at this chart over here. You can actually do a monthly deposit. Now, I've always advocated dollar cost averaging. I have a previous video. If you haven't seen that, I'll leave links below for you also. Dollar cost averaging is a great method to get invested, especially a new investor, because it helps you, be systemized, removes away all fear and emotion. So dollar cost averaging is very useful, and they can actually do that system for you. My suggestion is don't start with something too small. Don't do like $100 a month, because that's not going to impact your life. So what if you make 100% on $100? That's going to be additional $100. That's not going to change your life. Look through your budget. Really plan effectively how much you can set aside so that you can invest bigger amounts. If you can do 1,000 a month, you can do 12,000 a year. And when you pull that to 5, 6, 7 years, you can reach your first 6-figure investment portfolio. There's a lot of personal coaching I do for private clients, especially on new investors. Now let's move on to fees. Fees is a concept that you need to get used to. This whole rebalancing is not for free. They actually have a management team that runs it, and of course there's fees. But of course, when you pay for fees, there's going to be value added service to you. And when you invest 25,000 and less, the fees is 0.8%. In this chart over here, I have a quick comparison. You can see over here SciFi's fee. You can see over here AutoWealth fee. These are some other robo platforms. But the main thing for investment is when you have a robo-advisor that runs it, give it time. Time is the most important factor, not this small little fees. For my own, I charge private clients 1% for customized portfolio. I can do behavioral coaching. I can do selection of funds that are not commonly available. So again, go with what you like. If you need more coaching, I have links below. You can reach me below for one-to-one. If you are looking for bigger portfolios and you really want to make sure you understand things, you want an advisor reports to you, look for my links also. I can do one-to-one customized portfolios for you. So go with what suits you. If you're a new investor, this is a good starting place. That's why I have this referral link over here. If you look at this referral link, first 10,000 will be free for 6 months. I'll leave links below. Use that. Get started investing, because getting started anywhere is my main message for you. And again, if you like this message, smash on the like button so that more people can hear this message and get invested, because now is a good opportunity. Many feel that markets can go low, but nobody knows the bottom. If you look 5-10 years down the road, do you agree also that markets will look substantially higher than what it is today? If that is true, then definitely it's no reason to delay. Now investing makes a lot of sense. So with that, again, I would like to invite you to leave any comments, any questions you may have. I'll look at each and every one of them. With that, I'll sign off. Subscribe also if you haven't done so. I'll see you in a future video. Take care and goodbye.